because they are empowered by our ancestors to be able to reach out where nobody can. When the African traditionalists start telling their stories about you, it's amazing.
It is.
But it is true that the things that they will be telling you have happened to you, and they can tell you what is about to happen.
Yes.
So these are the powers which are invested in selected people, and they are so powerful that even in these European schools, the children will be there, and when those spirits start moving into that child, that child will start screaming, and that means that something is happening. Some of these priests from the Christian world, they try to reject, and if their call is to be in the African religion, they will have to crawl by the night to go find an African priest to help them to survive. Because if you are not going to follow it, something is going to happen.
Will happen to you.
Yeah, and something drastic, something very bad is going to happen because you are being disrespectful, and the ancestors are not in favor of that.
In Zulu belief system, in which I don't know whether I'm pronouncing this word correctly, Nkulunkulu, right? The supreme being. Who are the other divinities that assist him to rule the universe?
Well, first of all, Nkulunkulu is a word which was used by the Westerners. Say he Mukulu, that means he is the greatest. So, but Umvelingangi is the creator of the universe. The ancestors, they appeal for our health and our survival to Mvelingangi, and then return the message to us that we are supposed to continue and give us wisdom to continue with our lives. But this other thing, it became a real big problem for the Africans when they started bringing the Nkulunkulu. And then the kings were very uncomfortable with that, because they always been like more or less a supreme power that lives.
You see the story you just given me? It's the same like this ancient Kemetic king called Akhenaten, but his actual name is Akhenaten, who changed the name of the god Amure to become Atu. So when they talk about the pestilences and all the problems happened in ancient Kemet, that they call Egypt, I don't even know how they could have found the name Egypt and put in the Bible at the time Akhenaten was the king. The pestilences took place because of the fact that this king changed God's name. And I see you're telling me that when the Europeans came and they changed.
They altered a lot of things, but there are certain fundamentals which they cannot touch.
They cannot touch.
Yeah. They can attempt to touch them, but they cannot touch because they don't have the spirituality to deal with it. All of us, we are gifted. We are not here just because we are so smart. There is a driving force for us to be out here. We are out here as the pilgrims of our culture. We are out here as the pilgrims of our tradition. We are out to unify the African world, whether we know it or not. We are not just sitting here having this conversation on an empty situation. It has been derived from the ancestors. We never knew that we will meet, but we have met on a level which is so supreme that we are sharing what is almost extinct because of other forces which have been suffocating the African way of life. And the African way of life is the most beautiful way of life. It has all the attributes of a well-being. It has the respect for humankind. And some of it has caused our downfall because sometimes we respect the people who don't deserve to be respected.
Sikhulu, you just made a statement that actually speaks to how we met. A Muslim from Ghana watched my show, and he called me. He told me something is forcing him to call me. Something is forcing him to call me. He doesn't, I'm a Muslim, but when I watch your show, something is forcing me to call you. And then he started giving me stories about African traditionalism, even though he's a Muslim. Look at the message you just given to me, why we are meeting. That is something like this guy telling me that something's forcing him.
Yeah, well, we are a powerful people. And this suppression is not going to last forever. And you have to remember also that we once dominate our own African world as well as part of Europe.
Oh, yes.
And the religion, which is now the extension of the Roman Empire, which is the Catholic, they had to go and take their notes from Africa. They had to go to Ethiopia.
Right.
That's where the first church, a Christian church, started. And now they have turned things so much around that it suits them now. It's no longer the original one.
No.
Actually, in South Africa, during the times of colonial rule, the old Bible, they forced the people to turn it in because it had too many messages which were in favor of the Africans. So they wanted that version.
The book to disappear.
Yeah. And if you are caught with it, you go to jail.
Now you tell me, why would somebody be holding God's book, the Holy Scripture, and be going to jail for it?
They is going to jail because even with their religion, it goes back to Africa. I mean, people came to Africa and they cannot deny that. People came from other worlds because of hunger, and they found food in Africa.
Right.
I mean, there was the first cataract of the Nile, second cataract, where they actually irrigated, the Africans irrigated the Nile River and raised so much crop that they could afford to export it to other people who needed food. That's how powerful Africa is. If you can feed your people, you are a good ruler.
Right.
And if you can feed the peoples of the world beyond your people, you are an excellent ruler.
Right. Sikhulu, we're almost running out of time. But you are going to be opening a new place, right?
I'm hoping that I'll be opening very soon.
We're going to give the credits, and they will have your cell phone number. Hopefully, when you get a new place, we'll patronize it.
We need more than just patronage.
Okay.
We need to bring the families together.
Okay.
Before we can sell one thing out of that place, because it is a message from the people of Africa that no matter what kind of suppression there is, we will resurrect and be above it. So what I would really like to see is that your friends and beyond, they can come and be there just for the ceremony to bring the spirits of Africa from the entire continent in any form that they can be brought in. And I'll be very happy. It would be the greatest grand opening for me.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, you know, we will be there. We will be there. There's no doubt about it.
All right, my brother, I'm looking forward to that.
There's no doubt about it. Before we close, what message can you send to, say, collectively, because it's not just my viewers, our viewers? Why are we doing this, Mr. Shange? Why are you and I, why are we doing this?
We are trying to bring peace into the continent of Africa. There is a lot of turmoil. Some of it we don't even recognize as turmoil. If we don't know each other and we still belittling each other, calling each other names, that is an assault.
Right.
We need to find harmony among ourselves. I need to feel complete around you. You need to feel complete around me. And this way, our children will mirror that and they will grow with more respect for themselves and for their living fathers and mothers, and even the ones who are looking out for us, those who have made a transition. They will be better people. And we shouldn't put the Western life in front of us as what it is that we aspire to. We have to aspire to ourselves as Africans. Whatever knowledge we have to use it for the betterment of Africa and for the betterment of children of Africa inside and outside Africa.
Mr. Shange, thank you for coming out on this cold night. I really appreciate it.
It is warm here to be with you, and I hope that this message will reach a lot of people and they will take it into consideration. I don't want to think for somebody else, but I want to give them whatever I can so that they will have something to drive them to think for themselves.
African traditionalism is different. Different is not deficient. Different is not primitive. Different is not devilish. Different is just different. It is an original religion. It is an original way of life. We communicated with God and our ancestors at the same time. And that's why we don't want these traditions to die. If these traditions die, all Africans are literally dead. In the name of Amun-Ra, I want to end this show, and may he bless you and all the children of the world. Take care.